Good morning, innovators. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. We have many attendees coming here today for this webinar, and I'm very excited to walk you through the 2027 EIC work program. From the last year, I believe, the European Commission has decided to share drafts, working papers of their work programs for the future, for the near future, for the transparency and the equality in obtaining these drafts. We know from our experience that these drafts are very close to the reality in the end, the final versions, and we can start to plan based on them. Minor changes might happen, but the direction, the amounts, the dates should be in place and final. So today we will walk you through this EIC work program to help you plan obtaining EIC funding or additional funding from other sources during 2027. So let's begin. Today, well, first I'll introduce myself and Argentum. My name is Shai. You received an invitation email from me probably during the last 2 weeks. I am closing 15 years working in a non-dilutive funding ecosystem, from grant writer to team leader, strategist, and manager. Currently, I'm a VP at Argentum, and supporting our clients in their journey towards funded projects from the European Commissions or from other European sources. We are Argentum. We are a consultancy that aims to leverage as much as we can the availability of funding and other value from European sources, European funding programs, European match funding, partner matching systems, and we are working with our clients to realize and optimize what they can get from these sources. The main thing they can get from these sources is funding, but often overlooked is the realization of a strategic goal of the company. Deep tech may need funding. Funding is a good solution for a lot of the problems, but partnerships, door openers, support in planning, support in venture building, and others can be sought through European funding agencies, European funding vehicles. So this is what I'm meant to say. We are more than grant writing. We aim to optimize what you can get from what value you can get from the European funding sources. So our approach is to take our client, our partner, an innovator from Europe, and take him to a journey across European funding vehicles via diversified long-term funding pipeline, trying to increase chances of success, increasing value by approaching different programs throughout our engagement. We provide the scoping of the funding. We support you in partner matching. We do conceptualization to make your project fit the funding opportunity best. And we do management of the proposal writing, and we can also offer grant management services after the project is won. We have curated or obtained or learned about more than 700 European national and collaborative funding programs stored in our database, updated. For many of them, we reached the stage of winning this funding opportunity. For some of them, just submitting and not yet winning yet, and for some of them, just is funding direction that we didn't take our clients there yet. One of the things that I like most about our service is the Argentum Consortia link component. This is a service directed to either find and match partners from all over Europe to your projects in case of a collaborative project proposal, or positioning our partners in projects developed and managed by others. And we do this very efficiently, and we can support you with this as well. We will talk today, as I said, about the 2027 EIC work program based on the second draft published for feedback from the stakeholders on 7th of July. This is the last year of the Horizon Europe program. Horizon Europe program, for those of you that don't know, it's a 7 years program, started 2021, and 2027 is going to be the final year of this program. It will be followed by a program that will probably be named Horizon. So we had Horizon 2020, Horizon Europe, and we are going to make it simple. In the next 7 years, it's going to be just Horizon. And with larger budgets and probably similar programs. I know that the Commissioner of Science in the EU is pushing to achieve an agreement on the budget for the next program during this year, but sometimes we have delays. So my recommendation is to make the most out of Horizon Europe before it ends, because there's always a gap between framework programs and the next ones, because sometimes they don't approve them in all the European institutes on time, so there are delays. So my strong recommendation is to take advantage of what we know that is happening instead of waiting for the unknown. So 2027 is going to be a very exciting year. In the EIC, we have several changes. We have 6 core funding schemes, beginning with Pathfinder, Transition, Accelerator, STEP Defense, which is new, and a new program that will open this year. It's called the Scale Up Fund, the Scale Up Europe Fund. We have 4 STEP deadlines, 4 EIC Accelerator for proposal deadline, 1 STEP Defense deadline, and 2 Pathfinder deadlines and 1 transition deadline throughout the year. The EIC is aiming to crowd 30 to 50 billion euros via its instruments, and they claim that this will continue to 2028. Okay, let's continue to the next slide. What is changing from last year? First, the Pathfinder Open, and I will get into each of these programs in different slides, but Pathfinder Open has become very, very competitive. It's become as competitive and sometimes more competitive than the EIC Accelerator. Although it is for very initial research and it requires a consortium, it still is very competitive. And what the Commission is doing when they see limiting competition, they introduce a 2-stage evaluation. So the Pathfinder Open going to introduce for the first time a 2-stage proposal. First proposal is going to be on the short application. It's going to be in February, and the proposals that will pass it will need to submit the full proposal in September. And what it means for you, it means, well, first I must say that 2.5 times the budget available for Pathfinder Open this year will pass the first submission. So it means that if you pass the first the short proposal, your chances of success is growing from 5% to 40%, which is great. The second thing I want to say is that we need to start preparing the Pathfinder open proposal quite soon, because we need the consortium to be in place for the first proposal. So this is about Pathfinder. Transition is transitioning into a single beneficiary instrument. So far, we could have submitted a single beneficiary or a consortium limited to up to 5 partners. In this work program in 2027, it's going to be only for a single applicant. Accelerator will introduce for the first time a reserve list. This is interesting, and we'll get to the details of it very soon. And the new program, the Scale Up Europe Fund, is going to support companies in rounds of larger than the rounds of the STEP program. Funding rounds larger than 150 million euros. The business accelerator services are still with us. The woman prize will remain with a new category, specific budget for women in quantum, which is interesting. And we will continue for the next slide. Let's focus on the programs. EIC Accelerator. EIC Accelerator is the most desired, sought for funding in Europe for small, medium enterprises that do innovative products or service development. It is aimed for single startups and small, medium enterprises, and with less than 250 employees. And in some cases, small mid-caps can apply as well. And it provides 2.5 million euros as a grant and an investment component which is optional of 1 million to 10 million euros for scaling up. So you can choose if you want to go for a grant only, the 2.5 million euros, investment only, or the blended finance, which is the most popular track and the most approved track. So to apply for EIC Accelerator, you need to pass to win an EIC Accelerator grant, you need to pass 3 stages. 1, a short proposal, 12 pages long, with a pitch deck of 10 slides and a 3 minutes video introducing the staff, the team, and what they aim to do. This proposal is submitted to 4 remote evaluators. You need to get 3 out of the 4 to pass it. This is a very filtering stage. And you can regress only if you got 2 out of 4. So if you got 1 or 0 out of 4, you need to have a full resubmission. And if you have 2 out of 4, you can ask for redress. This is something new. If you pass there, and you can submit this short proposal all over the year, and they are collected in the first Tuesday of every month for evaluation, and they offer 6 weeks until you receive the results. Now, you need to prepare a full proposal to one of the 4 deadlines here: February, April, September, and November. So you need to plan around these deadlines. If you are submitting February, for some reason get rejected, submitting to April will not lose you, well, you will not lose a lot of time. But if you submit in April, then you will need to wait until September to resubmit your full proposal, and this is quite long. So you need to aim for, it's better to aim for February, in this case, or September. What I wanted to say about this, last year we had 6 deadlines, so they are kind of narrowing it down to 4. They are introducing this year a reserve list mechanism. So a full proposal submitted, passing the evaluation, invited to the jury, and somehow rejected in the jury stage, will not go into full no-go. You will receive a no-go and you can resubmit, but you will be in the reserve list. So after the entire jury sessions of 2027 are concluded, they have additional budget. And it happens quite often that the budget is added throughout the year. They receive another budget. They will give it to the highest ranking reservist. So this is something to know. The rules for resubmission are simplified even in the last program. Since 2024, you could submit only 3 times. Every rejection, you have 1 submission left. But the good news, this is ending in the end of 2027. So if you have strikes left, it's good to use them in 2027 because it's going to most probably renew in the next program, the Horizon program. Okay, challenges. We have ocean observation technologies, climate neutral and smart cities, and fusion power plant technologies, carbon removal and circularity. The challenges have a set aside funding. You can apply to the open call anyway, but if you fall under the challenges, they will make sure they have enough projects in this challenge. So there are situations when it is worthwhile going to this challenge. Next, EIC Step Scale Up. This program is now, I think, 2 years old, and it's beginning the third year. It does not provide any grant. It is providing equity support for applicants in deep tech that in strategic areas that are quite broad: digital, clean tech, biotech, and defense. If you are in these and you are planning a larger funding round, 50 to 150 million euros in amount, the step call can provide 20% of the round. What you need is a pre-commitment from an investor to bring in at least 10%, at least 20% of the funding round. So a pre-commitment investor will provide the 20%, EIC will provide another 20%, and the remaining 60 you will complete together with the support of the EIC. It's a short process compared to the EIC Accelerator. We submit a proposal, it is checked only for eligibility, and you go directly to the interview, and then you get a go or no go. So it can be very quickly because they want to fit within your existing funding round, so they don't want to take too much time in the process. So if you are planning or can get this pre-commitment from an investor, you can tell them that the EIC Step Scale Up is willing to add 20% more. So this is something important for companies that are in this stage. 2026, this October, we have the first ever Step Defense Scale Up call, and it will return in 2027. Same structure for defense companies. This is only for EU and EEA entities, so European member states, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein. So no UK, no Switzerland, no Turkey, just EU and Ukraine is also in this framework. Next, EIC Pathfinder, very exciting program. For the first time, EIC Pathfinder is going to have the 2-stage programs, very similar to the EIC Accelerator. It's so the Pathfinder is a consortia only, and it's a grant up to 4 million euros for very low TRL projects. So it is very recommended to include researchers, some and science science people into this project. Short app 25 February, full proposal 16 September, and then an interview similar to the EIC accelerator. This is the open. In October, actually September, we have Pathfinder challenges. This is a single step for projects that fall within these categories: advanced materials for energy grids, safe continual learning for reliable AI agents, and quantum energetics. This is EIC Pathfinder. EIC transition, for those of you who doesn't know, to advance technologies from TRL 3 and 4 to TRL 5, 6. For SMEs, spin-off startups, for everyone, not every legal entity. And it is only for projects that build on results from previously supported EU grants. And what it means that if you were a partner in ERC, FET, Pathfinder, Horizon Europe Consortia, European Defence Fund project, and you received and you developed and you got a result from it, you can build based on this result a new project. It's a good funding. It's up to 2.5 million euros. It's only for single applicants now. This is the main change from last year. It's for single applicants. So it's full 2.5 million euros goes to a single applicant, but you need to have a result to build on. And this is where it is tricky. Now, it can be something that you have partnered with, or you have a university partner that may have done research in your area and won an ERC grant on it, or even someone you completely don't know that did some research that is beneficial for your project. You need to reach out to them and get an approval to use it in an EIC transition grant. These things happen, and it's a lot of work in the background to be eligible for it, but the deadline is September, so we have time to find the feeder projects, get the result, approach the coordinator, and apply to EIC transition, or easier if you were part of a feeder project like this. This is EIC transition. Now, these are the main calls for 2027. Pathfinder transition accelerator steps, step defense, and we have this. We put all of them in a timeline. We can see two waves. Actually, most funding in Europe is done in these two waves: the fall wave, or the autumn wave, and the spring wave. So we begin with step, EIC accelerator, Pathfinder, open stage 1, and another accelerator, and another step. Then go on summer vacation, go back into step, accelerator, another accelerator, step, Pathfinder challenges, and Pathfinder and transition same day. Add to these other funding opportunities such as Eurostars in March and September, EuroGSTEP, EDF in September, and you have a very crowded funding waves across the year. So the best way to enjoy most of the funding and have an efficient multiple funding strategy is to plan ahead in advance and be able to be ready with two proposals in parallel to submit in the same day if needed. This is the timeline. It's very crowded. At Argentum, we believe that we must look beyond EIC and beyond Horizon Europe to maximize funding opportunities. These are competitive ones. And then these are very competitive, and we must make sure we look at the entire scope of opportunities when we maximize and plan the funding. So in our scope, we have grants that are from Eureka. Eureka, for those of us who doesn't know, is a framework that organizes proposals that are intergovernment. Intergovernment means that the funding program will give you a label, and then your country will provide the funding. And this is a collaborative project. So each partner in the project will get funding from his own country. This is more complex, but with much, much higher success rates compared to the European calls. Notable plans, Eurostars, it's fully bottom up, and you can pick any European country to partner from any European country to work with. Eurogia, which is for low carbon technologies, smart manufacturing is for smart manufacturing, DEC is for electronic components, IT are for software innovation, CETICNET for ICT, and there are many, many more. There are lightweighting, there are sustainable cities, and many, many, many more programs in this area. Other EU-funded programs, we must look first on Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe Pillar 2. This is where all the consortia calls are for specific calls. This is where Argentum can come in and position you within a call or pinpoint a theme or a topic that is exactly fit to the company, your company, and build a project around it and find partners for this as well. Digital Europe, large consortium about the digital transformation, European Defense Fund, very wide scope calls on everything related to defense, life for environment and sustainability, EU for Earth, for Earth-related research. This is other European funded programs. We have this ARPA-like national funding, which is a growing segment in our work. ARPA-like are programs that imitates the ARPA programs in the United States. ARPA means Advanced Research Project Agencies, and the most notable one is DARPA of the DoD, the US DoD. So Germany was first to imitate this program, and they came up with Spring D. Spring D, fully bottom up. Anyone from anywhere in the world can apply, and the funding can be substantial. ARIA is the UK imitation or, let's say, translation of the ARPA-like programs. Advanced Research and Invention Agency from the UK. They have very specific topics, so much with the topic. And the Danish grant challenges that have topics, but they are wider, but you must fit within the deadline, which is coming up December or January. Additionally, we know that the Dutch and the French governments are building their own sprints now, ARPA-like programs. So we are looking forward to see how this develops. Other super government agencies, such as the European Space Agency and NATO, can also offer funding for our research and innovation programs. They are all included in our service. When we map out your opportunities, we take a look at all of these and many others. So the multiple strategies that Argentum is offering, if you missed anything, any details, we can share this presentation and a link to the recording, but we will be very, very happy to discuss the specifics of each program with each of you, and offer you our service, our full service, the multiple submission strategy that aims to maximize and optimize your value from European funding programs. So it starts with screening of the relevant opportunities, matching it with your R&D roadmap, checking the eligibility and planning the submission timeline. It is continuing with portfolio execution. It means that we are doing the conceptualization of the project and the work program, and the work plan. We are managing the entire proposal writing and the budget planning, and we do review against what we know that evaluators usually look for. During proposal portfolio execution, we will try to get you into consortiums led by others and match you up with partners for your projects. And after project is won, we can support you in the coordination of tender reporting and the grant management, which is optional. This is us, and we will be let's leave you with these recommendations. For the Pathfinder, you must start to work on the concept and the consortium now, because the stage 1 is happening sooner than last year's. Used to be, well, the full proposal was on May, and now it's just in February. So we need to work on this now. Transition, a lot of work before you write one single word in the proposal. You need to allocate. You need to find scope, result you can build on, and start to work on the conceptualization. Accelerator. This is the last year of Horizon Europe, and you have 3 strikes. If you have strikes left, you should use them in 2027 to win the accelerator program. Step defense, if you are planning, or if it is logical for you to go for a 50 to 150 million euro fundraising now, you must consider STEP at the first thought. And for everyone else, 2027 is the last year of Horizon Europe, and it is going to show us how the next program, the next 7 years will look like. So it's very interesting to see how this falls in. We would be very, very happy to speak with each of you directly. And my colleague Lynette will share now in the chat a link to book a meeting with us. It's not non-committing. You will meet one of our business development people, and you can discuss, see the general availability, general eligibility of your company or your project to apply for this type of funding. And so we very, very strongly invite you to speak with us and book a non-committing meeting. I will answer some of the questions here. I see 9, only 8. So in the chat, you can see a link to book a meeting with us. And I see the QA question here. Okay, a question about the EIC accelerator. So we have if the investment is actually happening, and if yes, what percentage, through which vehicle, and what are the investment terms? There are very elaborated but not very revealing investment guidelines for the EIC, which they take a lot of pages to explain that this is really case by case and negotiable. But the idea of the EIC fund is to follow the terms of the main investor. So they will try as much as they can to not invest alone. And if they do, it's going to be via some sort of a bridge investment, convertible loan, or quasi-equity support. But they will try very hard to align with the terms of the main investor, private investor. Okay, next questions. Okay, so how many attempts at EIC accelerated submission allowed? So since 2004, you can resubmit. Well, you can get up to 3 no-goes, and it doesn't matter in which stage you're getting this. So if you submitted 3 times to the EIC short proposal and got rejected with a no-go, you can't submit anymore until the end of 2027, 2028. We think that there are going to be new rules that will allow you to submit again. Um, so yes, 3 is the number. Another question. Oh, that's a good one. No, reserve list does count towards the 3 strikes. It's a no-go reserve, so it counts towards the 3 strikes. Good questions. I didn't read the question. You probably don't see it. If you put on the reserve list, does that count towards one of your 3 strikes? Yes, it counts. Do you know if any next question? Do you know if any challenges are coming in the biotech life science sector? I'm afraid not. And the reason, usually, at least with the EIC accelerator, the biotech and life science sector are the most winning projects, scopes in the open call. So they don't really need a challenge because they are already heavily funded through the open source or through the competitive allocation. Um, is green hydrogen production suitable for one of the challenges for the EAC Open or the STEP? Yes, to one of the challenges. I need to check because there's one circularity. Probably yes, but if not, it can be for the Open and for STEP for sure. Next question. Jean-Raphael Nefusia, all these fundings, are they open to dental AI research tools to improve dental health? Well, I've never seen something that is specific to dental health, but so many open call opportunities, so you'll need to compete with the others in this case. Okay, good ones from Sabrina. Can British companies participate to all of the European and national grant opportunities you presented? Almost everyone. Everyone except for the STEP defense. STEP defense is only for EU member states, Norway, Iceland, and Ukraine. But all of the others are fully open, and this is new because since Brexit, UK companies were locked out of the EAC fund. It means that, well, they are not eligible to receive investment from the EU, but now they are renegotiating this, and during the negotiations, UK applicants can apply, but they will get it only after negotiations will be closed. So right now, eligible to apply, only getting it when negotiations between London and Brussels are concluded around this area. Next question. Oh, we have a lot of questions popping up. Let's see what we can answer. I've been waiting. Oh, redress for ESC stage 1. I just got a redress response today. Maybe it's coming soon. Stefano here is asking about redress. Redress is something that you use when you thought your evaluation was not according to the rules. And Stefano here is asking how much time it gets to receive an answer from redress. And I'm telling that we just today received answers from redress, so maybe it's coming very soon. I don't have statistic on it. We don't use it quite often. Um, mm, okay, I answered this one. I have a question from about the three strikes rule of the EIC accelerator. Is it applying at company level for each application? Yes, it's a company level, unfortunately. So the three strikes will make the entire thing, the entire company ineligible. Okay, Switzerland, same position as the UK. Oh, I have a question about Switzerland. What is the participation of Switzerland? So Switzerland, after being locked out from the program in the first years, 2021 until 2025, I think, is now in good terms with the EU, and they have a signed deal that they can participate in everything except for the EIC step defense, because defense is only for EU member states and Norway, Iceland, and Ukraine. And last question today, if I didn't answer any of your questions, you can feel free to book a meeting with us, write to us. We will be very happy to answer. The last question, does the answer you gave for UK companies accessing apply in the same way to Swiss companies? Okay, I answered this one as well. Swiss companies are eligible in a similar way for the UK with already a signed agreement, so it's not conditional. So Switzerland position is currently better. Thank you very much for joining. This has been a delight to share information today with you guys and answer questions. We will be very happy to continue this discussion with each and any one of you, and then you can book a meeting with us. We will share this. We will share this presentation, the recording, in an email, and we will also have the booking link in the email as well, so you can book with us whenever you want. Thank you, and have a good day and lovely spring, autumn. Bye-bye.